So we are not here visiting with you because there is something that you're doing wrong that we want you to correct so that we can feel better, because we understand that you are here as part of this magnificent creative process that has 3 very important steps. We know that you've come to sift and sort, and that through that sifting and sorting, you will come to clarity about what is wanted. We know that when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. We know that you're sending those rockets of desire into what we are calling the vortex, or what we are calling the vibrational reality. We know that you are important to the expansion of all that is. And in order to ask with great clarity of something that is beyond what you're already living, you have to move around in the variety a bit in order to come to some clarity. And so we know that often you may be looking right at what you don't want while you're giving birth to a rocket of desire about what you do want. And we say, when you're doing that, it's a wonderful thing that you're doing, because you're sifting out here on the leading edge, being the deliberate creator that you came to be, sending off the rocket of expansion, and the universe benefits by the expansion that you provide through your sifting and through your deciding, through your coming to personal conclusions. Do you know you can't help but do that all day, every day? You cannot help but come to new conclusions about what would be better. Even the cells of your body are doing that. That's what the evolution of all species is about. Cellular understanding and expansion and request for improvement, you see. So step 1 is you sift and ask. Step 2 is you send off the rocket to this vibrational vortex where the source within you dwells, and source becomes the vibrational equivalent of that what you've asked for. That's why we write a book that says you ask and it is given. That's exactly what that means. When you ask, source becomes the vibrational equivalent of what you've asked for. But this gathering we are calling the art of allowing, because it is talking about the 3rd part of this 3-step process. You have to find some way, if you want to be the joyful being that you are, you have to find some way of being in vibrational alignment with not just what you've just asked for, but with the non-physical part of you who has expanded because you ask. Because remember, when you ask, the non-physical part of you becomes it, and that is the reason that sometimes you could feel negative emotion. Did you get that? Because you have asked, and because the non-physical part of you took what you asked for and became the expanded version of that, now there's a possibility that you might still be in your physical body beating the drum of the absence of what you want, while the source part of you is beating the drum of the presence of what you want. That's the only reason that negative emotion could ever occur within you. You must not be yet keeping up with who you've become. But you know, once you understand that, once you get the vibe of this source energy, once you are on the trail of this good feeling emotion, once you get it, that life has caused you to expand, and that it is fun to keep up with the expansion, to move in the direction of the expansion, then you understand what frisky is. Then you understand what passion is. Then you understand what enthusiasm is. Then you understand who you are meant to be. In other words, you said, I'll go forth, I'll figure out how to expand, I'll send off a rocket, source will become it, source will call me toward it, and when I go, it will be really, really satisfying. And when I don't go, it will be tense. So here we are, we stand as your non-physical ambassador, calling you into what we are calling this vortex. Now, of course, you can't see it. People look, they say, what's going on here? I went to this weird meeting where this man called his wife Abraham. It was odd. It was odd. And she's clearly a split personality. Clearly. And she makes this big circle and calls it a vortex and tells us that we and everything we want are in there and that we should go in. But we can't see anything there. It's just a figment of whoever she is imagination, I think. But we want you to understand that this vortex that we are depicting in this way is a vibrational state of being where the larger part of you is. In other words, it's a place that you can feel your way to. In other words, we can't draw it out for you in your time-space reality any more than we can show you where love is, any more than we can show you where the source of that which is source is. In other words, it's this vibrational state of being that you tune into.